Hello and welcome back to the channel for my Everything You Missed video for Chapter 4 of Doctor Who Flux, Village of the Angels. Apologies in advance if you hear any extra background noise in this video compared to usual. Basically, it's pretty windy in certain parts of the UK at the moment, including where I am, so that's what it is if you do hear anything. But otherwise, let's get straight into the video with all the Easter eggs and callbacks and things you might have missed in Village of the Angels. This story has stylistic similarities to the 2013 episode Hide, which also featured a professor conducting experiments with a psychic woman in a haunted house and an entrance hall with green walls. It's also reminiscent of classic era stories such as The Demons and The Android Invasion, both of which were also set in seemingly quaint English villages. It's also the second Maxine Alderton episode to feature a haunted house, an old monster, and be set predominantly at night. The warning left for Reverend Shaw by Mrs. Hayward, "Leave now," put me in mind of the 10th Doctor's message for Sally Sparrow in Weeping Angel debut story, Blink, to beware the Weeping Angel and duck. This story sees the 13th Doctor back wearing a knitted jumper, an item of apparel distinguished from her usual t-shirts by the reversed order of the stripes and the more elaborate neckband. We previously saw her wear a light blue jumper in Orphan 55 and a burgundy jumper in Revolution of the Daleks. This is, to my knowledge, the first time she's worn one that's dark blue. The Rogue Angel isn't the first monster to break into the 13th Doctor's TARDIS. A Kablam man managed it back in Kablam, then the Kasavin in Spyfall Part 1, Zelin in Can You Hear Me, and the Jadoon at the end of The Timeless Children. When Dan remarked that, "at least we're alive," I couldn't help but think of Dan's now infamous line, "What's the point in being alive if it's not to make others happy?" which has become something of a meme in recent weeks, thanks to the rise of Evil Dan. Upon landing in Mediton, the TARDIS is mistaken for a real-life police box by resident Gerald, who attempts to use the dummy phone. We previously saw the TARDIS' external phone ring in The Empty Child, impossibly so, according to the 9th Doctor, but for a short time in the 11th and 12th Doctor's eras, it did in fact function as a proper phone. And Gerald actor Vincent Brimble has in fact appeared in the show before, 37 years ago in fact, as Tarpok the Silurian in Warriors of the Deep. He's the first of two Season 21 alumni to make a comeback in this story, the second being Kevin McNally, who played Hugo Lang in 6th Doctor debut story The Twin Dilemma. When Gerald asks Yaz who's in charge, she responds, "It's a very flat team structure," a phrase first used by Graham to dispel any notion of hierarchy in the fam in The Witchfinders. The Doctor appropriates the phrase later in the same episode, and uses it again, or variations of it, in Fugitive of the Jadoon and The Haunting of Villa Diodati. Yaz, in turn borrowing it from her here, continues the running thread of her increasingly modelling herself upon the Doctor. When introducing herself to Jericho, the Doctor uses her psychic paper, a piece of kit first used by the 9th Doctor in The End of the World, previously used by the 13th in Arachnids in the UK, Kablam, The Witchfinders, Orphan 55, Fugitive of the Jadoon, and The Haunting of Villa Diodati, and gifted to Graham and Ryan in Revolution of the Daleks. Multiple references are made to the idea that, as put by the 13th Doctor, that which holds the image of an angel could also be an angel, a piece of Weeping Angel lore introduced in The Time of Angels and also utilised last week. Firstly, the Doctor wastes no time tearing up Claire's drawing of an angel, knowing it could come to life at any given moment, then scrunches it up and sets it to light when it finds its way back together. Later, an angel breaks free from the CCTV feed on Jericho's television, and one is etched on the paper roll of his EEG machine. Yaz's suggestions to Gerald to better organise Peggy's search party recall the police training she underwent prior to joining the TARDIS, the fourth such reference in 4 consecutive episodes. But no, it never comes up that she's a police officer. Blake Harrison is of course the second Inbetweeners regular to appear in Doctor Who, and in the Whittaker-Chibnall era no less, following J actor James Buckley's turn as Nevi in Orphan 55. The stone thrown through Jericho's window by an angel could be considered a callback to the pre-title scene of Blink, in which the exact same thing happened, the very reason that Sally Sparrow needed to duck. As the angel inside Claire awakens, sand seeps out of her eye and she finds her hands turning to stone, just as Amy did in the Time of Angels. The crucial difference being that while Claire's transformation truly is physical, Amy's was just an illusion. The Doctor once again performs contact, a method of psychic communication seen most recently in Spyfall Part 2 and The Timeless Children. The trap played by Azure gave me flashbacks to a similar scenario in Rise of the Cybermen, while the transportation field effect itself put me in mind of the reality bomb from Journey's End. The Rogue Angel's Causeway is the latest in a long list of dreamscapes visited by the 13th Doctor, namely the Solitract plane in It Takes You Away, the Boundary in Spyfall Part 2 and Can You Hear Me, the Matrix in The Timeless Children, twice, Swarm's Realm in the Halloween Apocalypse, definitely not Lungbarrow in War of the Sontarans, and the Time Storm in Once Upon Time. As you might have noticed, this means that she's experienced visions of some sort or another in every episode of Flux so far, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if this trend continues in Survivors of the Flux. I found the dialogue between the two Peggys, specifically the way in which Mrs. Hayward recalls events to her younger self, reminiscent of the 10th Doctor's dialogue with Sally Sparrow in Blink. Additionally, the very notion of an encounter between the two Peggys, thus sealing the young Peggy's fate, reminded me of the similar predicament faced by Rory in The Angels Take Manhattan. To buy herself time, the Doctor reverses the polarity of the neutron flow on Jericho's EEG machine, while in turn quoting one of her third incarnation's favourite phrases. And soon after, in the tunnel, she gives Jericho an instruction often uttered by her second incarnation. When I say run, run. She also adds her own spin to the phrase earlier in the episode. When I say blink, blink. The episode's end credits use a chilling, bassline-less version of the theme tune, but this isn't the first time the end credits have been shaken up a bit. Famously, the credits for Earthshock Part 4 were played in complete silence, while more recently, in this era in fact, the theme was replaced by Andra Day's song Rise Up for Rose's end credits, and a unique version of the theme, scored for Indian instruments, was used for the end of Demons of the Punjab. And this isn't the first time the end credits have been interrupted by a mid-credits scene either, the same thing having happened 7 years ago in Death in Heaven, when Santa Claus himself put in a surprise appearance. So that's it for another week, every Easter egg, to the best of my knowledge, from Village of the Angels. As ever, please let me know of any omissions, either obscure or obvious, things that I've left out or missed or glossed over, and also let me know your thoughts on these Easter eggs in the comments, which ones you spotted and which ones you missed. Please do like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new for more Doctor Who Flux related content. But until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.